Y'all know I love my Southern style pintos, but this Italian bean stew, it just might give them some real competition. I'm using dried beans, simple ingredients, and I got a little something special that takes this pot to the next level. Here you go, y'all. And so, of course, before we can get anything on that stove cooking, we got to start with the prepping. And so we are starting with dried beans. Now you can use canned beans if you would like, but I actually prefer dried beans, and I love the texture of an overnight soak. And just to give you full disclosure, this is a big old pot of beans. So this is 2 pounds of dried beans. You can actually have this recipe very easy. And now I'm just sorting through, getting those ugly beans right on out of there. You're going to check your dry beans for rocks, debris, rinse them off really good, and you want to actually put a lot of water over those beans because they will expand. So you can see right here, I'm putting this spoon in just to show you how much water I have over top of those beans. If you want it done quickly, most packages of dry beans show you how to get that taken care of. But now we're going to move on to the cooking. And I'm going to start off with some very simple spices. I'm starting off with a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 bay leaves, 1.5 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Oh, we got that red pepper flakes. That's what they called. To taste. And of course, we got to add, because it's Italian, we're going to add some 1.5 teaspoon of dried oregano or Italian seasoning. And of course, we got something missing on this plate. What is it? It's no salt. Oh, it depends on your smoked meat of choice. So just taste and salt. And we got some tomato products to put in there as well. And we'll go into that further. And now on to the vegetation. As you can see, I'm using, because it's a big old pot now, 2 onions, 5 cloves of garlic, 2 carrots, and 2 celery. Isn't that pretty? I love when they're cleaned up and chopped. Just beautiful. You're going to dice them small. Now my next ingredient is really going to amp up this flavor. I am only using a few slices because I got a secret or surprise ingredient to amp it up even more. But I'm going to dice that up really small. I will tell you, let the bacon be frozen before you actually cut it. It'll become much easier. And here I am just heating up the pan and adding a little oil. I'm going to actually be just sautéing or browning the bacon just a little. You don't want a hard crisp on that bacon. You don't want bacon bits. We don't want bacon bits. We just want to brown it some. Now, of course, if you want to introduce a traditional Italian meat, you can use pancetta in this, but bacon brings that smokiness. One of the things I love about bacon is it can flavor most anything, but it is especially good in a bean stew. And the great thing about this bean stew, you can feed a large family with only a few dollars. And don't you love the sound of that sizzle? That's one other benefit of bacon. You get to hear that sizzle. Alrighty, let's go ahead and dump those vegetables in. Remember, those bacon, they're not bacon bits. They still have some softness. We're going to go ahead and sweat these little vegetations out a little bit. Now, don't add the garlic. We only added the onions, the celery, and the carrots. You know, that is common vegetables for most soups and stews these days. I think this is why I love cooking so much. Not only do you get good eats, but you get good smells as well. You know, imagine all that aroma coming up right now with the garlic. Not the garlic yet, but it's coming. There you go, right there. The garlic, the onions, and of course, that smoky bacon. Now, after we cook that garlic for a minute or two, we just want to take it out of the raw stage. I'm going to add the tomato product. Now I'm using fire roasted tomatoes because I love them. You can use regular diced tomatoes. You can use diced fresh tomatoes. It's all up to you. I'm just using one can. I think that's like 15 ounces. And now is where we change things up a little bit. Those are crushed tomatoes. Now, if you have a 15-ounce can, you can use half of that. Or if you have a really large like I did, you can use roughly about a cup and a half. Now, that of course is up to you. I wanted to dial back on a strong tomato flavor, but you can always add more if that's what you like. And now I am adding, I've already added, of course, the spices. I should have waited to add the bay leaf, but I was just dumping. So be careful if you did like I did, not to break that up because those pieces are sharp. And of course, let's go ahead now and add those pintos. That's a big old bowl. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. That was not the right pot. Now, I got a big old surprise ingredient to go in here, so I'm hoping it can fit. Let's see if that's gonna be able to work out. I look like I have a little room left. And here it goes. It's coming. A big old ham bone. I still got lots of meat and fat on that bone there. And that is gonna flavor this this bean stew. Now I cut some extra fat off, and then I also cut off the skin of it that had all that wonderful sweet pineapple glaze that was on top of it. Now, I'm not going to cut all the fat off because I want that fat also to flavor this bean stew. Yeah, you can see I cut some of it off. Now let's see if it's going to fit in my pot. That's the $1 million question. I don't think it's gonna work. All right, we're gonna make this happen. Taylor, you're gonna make this happen. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? All right, I think I made it fit. I got a dome lid. So how do y'all think I did? All right, I made it work. So now I am actually pouring in about 8 to 10 cups of water. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you cover in that bean. It was impossible for me to fully cover that ham, but it's already cooked and I will be flipping. Now, you typically want to have at least 2 inches above the beans. I don't know if I was able to have two inches almost, but you can add water as you're cooking, and that's what I did. Hopefully, you got a big enough pot, or you have the recipe, depending. And now it's time. I'm going to go ahead and cover this pot and bring it up to a slow boil. Oh, there it goes. At this point, now we're going to bring it down to a simmer. Now, I don't want to cover the pan fully now. I want to vent it. And I'm going to cook it until those beans are nice and tender. But right now, I need to figure out how I'm going to turn over without spilling everything over on the stove range there. Trying to figure out how to turn this thing over. Very slowly. I did make a little mess in full transparency. Just a little mess, just a little. Now, those beans are not yet done. So, as much as you can, get those beans back down under that broth there. Because if there's one thing I do not like is chewing on a hard bean. I've had that happen. Everything's soft, but you find that one bean that's not done. And go ahead and cover it back and make sure it's vented. And now I'm just going to do some taste testing. Because I didn't add any salt, because I already had salt from the bacon. And this ham bone with those ham pieces were already salty. So I am testing the bean, and as you can see, it is nice and tender. I'm just going to add just a little bit of salt. And of course, it's up to your flavor, and of course, the ham that you use or the seasoning meat that you use. You can also forego all meat. Make it vegetarian. Add some nice little broth to it. And now it's time for me to take out this ham bone. Now, I thought I actually had the video of me taking that out, but it did not go well. So you will not see me actually taking it out. But now you're going to take it out, and if you got meat on that bone, just take it off, because we're going to add it right back into this stew. Now, I do have some big chunks of meat that I'm actually going to take out of the stew, because I'm going to dice that up. Now, let me just tell you, it took everything within me not to start munching on that ham. Oh, I tell you, that was a good ham. I really enjoyed it. It was a large ham. I actually, what I had left over, cut it up and froze it for uses like this. See that? That's a lot of meat that's going right on back in there. I think one of the things that I'm going to try to focus on going forward is saving more of those things. Look, our ancestors, they didn't have it like that. They didn't have 1,000 spices. They just had good quality meat and some salt and maybe a few seasonings. But instead of chucking that stuff chuck in the bone, freeze it for good uses. Save money and eat good. That's my motto. So now we're at the point where we're going to decide the texture of this stew. I like mine a little bit on the thinner side, but you can smash up some beans on that side, just like that. Make sure it doesn't have a hole in the spoon. And just smash up those beans to make it more creamier. But I got some crusty bread that I want to sop up those juices with. So I'm going to keep mine a little bit on the brothy side. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it tastes just as good. Just like that, dinner is done. If you have enjoyed this recipe, give the video a like and make sure you are subscribed because I've got more good, simple cooking coming your way. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.